Welcome back again. Queen Nanny was a principal leader of the Windward Maroons in Jamaica during the early 18th century or 1700s, and a central figure in sustained armed resistance against British colonial rule. She led communities formed by formerly enslaved Africans who escaped plantations and established permanent, self governing settlements in Jamaican's eastern mountains. Her leadership contributed directly to the Maroons' ability to maintain freedom, territory, and political autonomy for decades in the face of repeated military campaigns. After England captured Jamaica from Spain in 1655, plantation slavery expanded rapidly, leading to large numbers of enslaved Africans fleeing to the interior of the island. These escapes joined earlier communities formed under Spanish rule and developed into organized Maroon societies. The Windward Maroons operated primarily in the Blue Mountains and surrounding regions, becoming one of the most military effective resisting groups in the Caribbean. British records from the period describe them as disciplined, mobile, and difficult to locate or defeat. Queen Nanny emerged as a dominant leader within this context, serving as a military commander and strategic planner. She organized defense networks that relied on Jamaica's terrain, including narrow mountain paths, dense forests, and concealed villages. Maroon fighters used ambush tactics, surprise attacks, and rapid withdrawal to neutralize British advantage in manpower and weaponry. Communication across long distances was maintained using the ebeng, a cow horn whose signal could coordinate movements and warn of approaching troops. British military reports repeatedly noted their inability to defeat Nanny's forces despite deploying regular soldiers, local militias, and hired trackers. Maroon units under her leadership captured weapons, disrupted supply lines, and forced British troops into prolonged and costly campaigns. These conflicts strained colonial resources and undermined plantation security by encouraging further escapes from slavery. Queen Nanny also exercised social and spiritual authority within the Maroon society. Oral traditions identified her as a practitioner, reflecting West African religions and medical knowledge. Spiritual leadership reinforced discipline, traditional West African religions, unity, and loyalty. These were essential for survival under constant threat as well. She oversaw settlement organization, food production, and the protection of women and children, ensuring long-term community stability rather than temporary resistance. By the late 1730s, the British colonial government concluded that the military victory was unlikely. In 1739, treaties were signed with Maroon leaders that formally recognized their freedom and granted them land, including what became known as Nanny Town. In return, the Maroons agreed to cease hostilities and not to have further rebellions or assist in further rebellions, and also to return newly escaped enslaved people back to the British. While these terms rarely ever happened, the treaties represented a rare acknowledgement of Black sovereignty within the Atlantic slave system. Queen Nanny's historical significance lies in her documented role as a military leader who forced a European colonial power into negotiation. She was officially named as a National Hero of Jamaica in 1975, one of the few women to receive this designation. Her image appears on the Jamaican $500 note, and her leadership is recognized as a fundamental example of organized Black resistance, territorial defense, and political autonomy in the Americas. Please like, subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you can get all the videos. Add me on all social medias. And until next time, peace. One love.
So catch me if I fall.